Today, we're going to review dividing whole numbers. Let's start with dividing 527 by 4. We're going to look at this division problem just at the 5, not paying attention to the 27 yet. And we're going to think, how many groups of 4 can we get out of 5? And the answer is 1. We're going to put a 1 above the 5. Because we used the 5 to divide, we have to put the answer above the 5. It's important to get this first number in our quotient correct so that the answer falls in line when it's time to learn decimals. Then we think 1 times 4 is 4, and we're just going to subtract 5 minus 4, and that's going to give us 1. Now we think to ourselves, okay, 1, is it less than our divisor? And 1 is less than 4, so it's so far so good. Now we're going to bring our 2 down. And we ask ourselves, 12 divided by 4 is 3. And 3 times 4 is 12. We subtract that, and we end up with 0. Again, 0 is less than our divisor, 4, so we're good. And we can bring down our 7. 7 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. We're going to subtract 4 from 7. That's going to give us 3. 3 is less than our divisor, and we don't have any other digits over here after the 7 to bring down. So we're good. That means 3 is our remainder. So the answer to this problem is 131, remainder 3. Let's look at the next problem. Here we have 4,378 divided by 6. Now here we can't divide 4 by 6. It's not big enough. So we've got to think about 43. When we think about 43, we ask ourselves, how many groups of 6 can we get out of 43? Well, I know that 7 times 6 is 42. So I know that I can get 7 groups of 6 out of 43 because 7 times 6 is 42. Here I'm going to subtract 42 from 43. And I have 1. 1 is less than 6, so I'm good to bring my 7 down. Now, I have 17 divided by 6. We're going to get 2 groups of 6 out of 17, and 2 times 6 is 12. 17 minus 12 is 5. 5 is less than my divisor, and now I'm going to bring my 8 down. Now I need to think, how many groups of 6 can I get out of 58? Well, I know that 6 times 9 is 54. So I know I can get 9 groups of 6 out of 58. And 9 times 6 is 54. I'm going to subtract 54 from 58. And I end up with 4. I have nothing else to bring down, so I'm going to bring 4 up as my remainder, and my answer is 729 with a remainder of 4. Let's take a look at some problems with 2-digit divisors. Here I have 885 divided by 26. Now I know I can't get a group of 26 out of 8, but I can get a group of 26 out of 88. I know in my head that 25 times 3 is 75, and 25 is very close to 26. So I'm going to think to myself that since 25 times 3 is 75, then 3 times 26 is going to be a little bit more. But I know I won't be able to divide 88 by 26 4 times. That would be too much. but I'm not sure what 26 times 3 is. So I'm going to come over here to the side and multiply 26 times 3. Here I know that 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to carry my 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So that's going to be 78. So I'm going to say that I'm going to get 3 groups of 26 out of 88. And 3 times 26 is 78. And 88 subtract 78 is 10. And here, even though the 10 is a large number, it's less than my divisor, 26. And as long as it's less than my divisor, I'm okay. So now I can bring this 5 down and think, all right, how many groups of 26 can I get out of 105? Well, I know it's more than 3. I could add another group of 26 on. And of course, I can use the same method I did before. 26 is close to 25. And 25 4 times would be 100. So I think it's safe to assume that I can get 4 groups of 26 out of 105. Again, I don't know what 26 times 4 is. So I'm going to come over to the side. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So 4 groups of 26 would be 104. And when I subtract 104 from 105, I have 1 left over. I have no other numbers in my dividend to bring down, so I end up with 34, remainder 1. Here's another problem with a 2-digit divisor. Here I have 4,628 divided by 18. Well, I'm going to kind of do what I did before, thinking 18 is pretty close to 20. And when I think about how many groups of 20 I can get out of 46, that would be 2. So I'm going to try out 2 here, thinking I can get 2 groups of 18 out of 46. And over here I'm going to work 18 times 2. Well, 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So I get 36. 2 times 18 is 36. And when I subtract 36 from 46, I have 10. 10 is less than 18, so I'm good. Now I'm going to bring down my 2. Again, I'm going to think I could get 5 groups of 20 out of 102. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 5 up here. Over here, I'm going to multiply 18 times 5. Here I know that 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. And so 5 times 18 is 90. I can write that down here. And when I subtract 90 from 102, I'm going to get 12. 12 is less than 18, so I'm good. And now it's time for me to bring my 8 down. Now, here again, I'm going to think 20 dividing into 128. I know it went into 100 5 times, so I'm going to guess that it's going to go into 128 6 times. I'm going to come over here and multiply 18 times 6. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. And I get 108. When I put my 108 here and subtract, I end up with 20. But I cannot have a remainder that is bigger than my divisor. So I have a problem. That's not the correct answer. 6 is not going to work in that place. So I need to come back, erase that part, take my 6 back out, and I now know that the correct number that I should have used was 7. Now I need to multiply on the side. 18 times 7. I know that 8 times 7 is 56. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. Now I know 7 times 18 is 126. And when I subtract, I get a 2, which is less than 18, my divisor. So I am good to put my remainder of 2 here. And my answer to this one is 257 with a remainder of 2. Hope that helps you out. Have a great day.